Only the young, only the young, only the young can run. Flip that particle and stuff. Yeah. That's an okay right there. That's my fingers. My fingers. Only the young can run. And the cord has got to go. What cord is that? Is that this cord? Why, yes it is, Batman. Oh, come on, hooker. Oh shit. It's not gonna work now, is it? Oh, shiza. God, you'd think I was like in my 70s the way I'm moaning and groaning. Oh no. Sorry, Sage. Sorry, Sage. Thank you, dear. Okay, well, that's gonna have to work. There we go. That's okay. Only the young, only the young, only the young. Okay. Oh, wow. Hi, guys. Hey, Amanda Yorson. Hello, Lisa Vanderhelm. Hello, Janet Clifton. Hello, Julie Pike. Hey, Emily Williams. Thank you so much for subscribing to my Patreon page. I haven't seen you since you subscribed, and I wanted to say thank you. I hope that you know that the forecasts go up early over there, so you have early access for being a subscriber. So I don't know if you know that, but thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to shout you out and thank you personally. I think I sent you a little little message over there, but I'm still new to it, so I'm still figuring out how it works. So thank you for that. Hey, Tina Charlie, how are you? Shiza, exactly, totally Shiza. Hashtag Shiza. Just rearranging some stuff. I'm tired, guys. It's been a weird day. How have you guys been feeling emotionally? Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. She says that, yes, I'm happy to support you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You're not only supporting me, but you're supporting the entire channel and everybody who watches it. So, I really appreciate it. And everybody should appreciate it. I think they do. Put up what link, Lisa? Hey, Tiffany Lynn. Total Miss. Are you in total meta? I mean, I'm not laughing at you, dear, but are you in metaphysical angst too? I've had the weirdest day. I almost don't feel like doing charmings tonight. Like I felt emotional and whack, like just angsty and weird. And I crawled into my bed with my dog this morning and I cried. And I couldn't even tell you what I was crying about. And my poor dog, he was just like cuddled up to me because he could tell I was on edge. And then I went and I did some errands and took care of some things that I needed to take care of. But I've just felt weird, like, I don't know, something's not right. I should meditate, I should have done some breathing. I didn't do that, which was probably not my go-to answer. I got busy doing errands and I had to go to the doctor and sort some things out with the doctor, and I'm glad I got those things done, but I don't know, I just felt really weirdly emotional today. It's also really gray and cold here, which I don't know that I do so well. You're drained, Amanda Yorison. I have to say this. I feel sort of like I just need to nurture myself. Arthur, like I just want to come here. Come say hello. Come here. Oh, he's like a dog. He comes right when you call him. It's so cute. Come here. I know. Hold on. You're gonna say hello to everybody. This is Arthur, guys. Can you guys hear his purr? I don't know if you can hear his purr. He starts purring the minute he gets picked up. It's so cute. I don't know. I feel like it's weird. Like I don't feel normal. Like let's just say that. So, you feel exactly like that too. Lots of anxiety and pent up energy. Karen, totally. Me too. And then it's like I know it will pass. Like that's the thing. Maybe it is the weather, Tiffany. Um, uh, it's here it's cold and it's just no bueno. Like not no bueno, but like it's just like no, I don't know. Like it just really was getting to me today. I was just feeling kind of hyper emotional. Thank you, Amanda. He knows he's cute too. Hey, Nancy Mobrant, how are you? Hey, Allison Brown, how are you? Hey, Ducky, how are you, Ducky? Ducky messaged me. She's like, "We're doing Charming tonight, right?" I was like, I guess. Hopefully, I can feel like doing Charmings. If nobody wants Charmings, that's fine too. I could take the night off and just maybe sit and chat with you guys for a minute if you want. I might. If nobody's interested, that's okay. I have to travel tomorrow. That's the other thing too, is I have to go to Florida and I don't want to go. Like I don't want to leave my animals. I'm such a baby that way. He's like totally sitting watching me on the computer screen right now. Arthur is, he's right. Who's that beautiful kitty, Arthur? Do you see the kitty? Do you see the kitty? Isn't he pretty? He's totally sitting in my lap. Listen to some uplifting music. I would. It's not even raining here. I wish it was raining. I like the rain because then it feels like everything gets cleansed, and I also feel like um, it's a good excuse to get cozy. Like I don't have to feel bad for not going out and getting things done. Right. I know. You don't feel bad either, huh? Yeah. So, that's always nice. Like when it's raining, I love it. And I have a metal roof on my house, so it makes this cool sound. I love the sound that it makes on the house. Yeah, even when you're going to work. I know, it's weird. Like this is why I try and do this business from here so that I can stay here with especially my dogs. The cats, I don't like leaving the cats either, but I feel like the cats are more independent where my dogs feel very codependent. They like go everywhere I go kind of thing. Or if I get in the car in the shower, they get like you can feel it. They're like, "Oh, where are you going? Are we going with you? Can we go with you?" And they follow me through the house and it makes me a little bit feel neurotic. Oh, excuse me, I should be yawning. I should put on music maybe. If I put on music, then we might all fall into a narcoleptic trance. Tin Roofs and Rain are amazing. Isn't he cute, Nancy? Hey, Sean, where are you? It's been raining there for weeks. Where's that, Sean? Cyclone. Bathroom, LOL. You need to run to the bathroom, Allison Brown. Thanks for sharing. Sharon? Lisa Vanderham, you're just now getting to following me? What? I just got a notice that says you're following me. I thought you'd been stalking me for ages. Oh, Seattle. Awesome. I love Seattle. It's beautiful up there. What's that market? The park? Is it the Pike? Wait, oh fuck, I'm gonna fuck this up. There's a market there, and there's a store that was in the market. It may not be there anymore. Where the fishmongers throw the fish. The famous market is it Pike Market or Pike Street Market, something like that. I loved it there. It's a total tourist thing to do. But there was a great store in there called Tenzing Momo that I loved. I used to have a T-shirt that said Tenzing Momo, Seattle. Pike Place Market. That's right. But I loved it there. It was so green and beautiful, and it was wonderful. I had a good time. They had really good coffee in Seattle. That's where I had my first SBC coffee, was Seattle's Best, which is kind of chain-like, but I had never heard of it before. It was delicious. I loved it. They will follow me in the bathroom, yes. I have that. Have you guys ever seen that meme where it says, it's like the picture of like, what I say, I'm going to the bathroom, and what the dogs hear is family meeting now. You live in Iowa and it's cold. And we're getting snow later, more snow. Oh. It sucks the life out of you, Sean. I love it. But I guess when you're in Seattle or Portland where you have so much of it, I could see that it would get a little bit overwhelming. Like too many gray days and it starts to affect me too. I need to shake off this yawning bullshit. Okay. Um, yeah. It's almost 5. It's 5:54. It's almost 5:55. Stick figure song shine? What's that mean, Allison? I don't understand. What are you trying to say? Uh-oh. I hear cats tearing through the house now. You've been lazy all day, Terry. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. You guys have noticed on the forecast, I don't know if you guys watch the forecast. Raise your hand if you watch the daily forecast. If you watch the forecast, in the description box on the YouTube videos, there is songs I've been picking to play as like sort of little theme songs to put your energy in line with sort of the cards or what they kind of represent. So they're supposed to be sort of like motivating songs or kind of connect you to the energy of the song, the card. I'm not sure what Lisa Vanderhelm is writing. Knouiw. I know, right? Is that what you're saying? Oh, it's a song Allison's saying. Okay. I'm following you. I think Facebook was messing with you. Oh, maybe. I just said that I got a follow from you. Maybe it was just saying that because you were in the room. Hey, Christina Davis Buffkin. How are you? So, does anybody want charmings? I'm like, I don't know. If not, that's okay. Like, it's totally fine. We can do something else, or we can Q&A. I don't know. I just feel kind of like spacey and tired. Hey, Shelly Conroy, how are you? We could do meditation for a minute. We could get centered. Let's do some breath work. Do you guys want to do that? Have you guys done that? I think some of you guys are new to me. Like, so I don't know if some of you guys know the breath work that we were doing in the morning, and then I stopped. I didn't stop doing it. I do it personally myself. I'm not going to fall asleep. No, it's closing my eyes to center. So let's all do this. I hope you guys are seated somewhere comfortably, but let's do this and let's get centered, and then we'll get sort of started. So place your feet firmly on the ground and close your eyes, please, and just follow the sound of my voice if you don't mind. If you feel comfortable doing this, if you don't, you can certainly just, continue to chat and do whatever you want. But this is kind of what we do. This is what I call the 3 breaths, right? And you can do this whenever you want. But imagine a line of energy going from the base of your spine at your first chakra, your first energy center down there. This is called the root chakra. Imagine this line of energy going straight down to the center of the planet, just hooking into the center of the planet. And then you can ask Mother Earth. I always ask her, can I please hook in? She always says yes. We don't have to worry about her ever saying no. She's not going to deny us. She's connected to us. And this is about being like sort of, I feel as though it's about being like adult or socially responsible with our energy, or the energy that is left in our space that doesn't belong to us, right? So as we open up this line of energy and we bring it down to the center of the planet, we want to stay up in our body, in the center of our head, behind our eyes, but just know and intend for that line of energy to connect to the planet. You can open up your feet chakra if you'd like. We have chakras in our feet, right in sort of, after our toes, at the center of our foot, sort of. And then I call up the earth energy from the planet up through the feet, and allow it to flow sort of up slowly. Sometimes it will run slow. For some of you, it may run quickly. You might see a color, but allow it to just sort of see it travel up through the feet, past the ankles, up the calves, through the knees. Kind of tickles a little bit there, for me at least. Through your thighs, through your buttocks. And then it will connect and go through that first chakra and back down the grounding cord. sort of recycling, and it's pushing anything that's in those sort of energetic pathways through your feet chakras all the way through your legs. It's pushing anything that's sort of blocking or stagnant. It's moving that energy. That's sort of the intention, right? So imagine that going on. You might be able to feel it physically. I can sort of feel it. My legs sort of get a little bit heavier. But as we run that energy, just allow it to sort of clear out our feet chakra, which allow us to walk our path, to feel steady, to feel grounded and connected to the earth and in the present moment. And try and bring our attention to now, this moment right here as we run this energy. Take a few breaths there. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Imagine your aura just hooking into that grounding cord and allowing anything in your aura that doesn't belong to you to also go down that grounding cord. Let's take in the first breath. Hold that breath and start to expand the light from your heart chakra out into your body. Adjust your chakras and release that breath. Now, when I say, I'm just going to describe something because I know some of you guys are new. When I say adjust the chakras, I believe that our spirit knows what it's doing. It knows how to adjust our chakras. We can ask our own soul to please adjust our chakras, and it will start to do that to set them to what is optimum, like almost resetting our energetic system. So when I say that, make any adjustments to your chakras, it's not like you have to figure it out. You just sort of allow it to be. And your soul or your spirit will step in and do the work for you. It might open some up a little bit or close some down a little bit. Some might be knocked forward or pushed backward, but it sort of just realigns them. Now with that breath, as we let it go, we're giving thanks to the body, to the physical vehicle that we travel this plane in, this third dimensional plane in. For all of the things that it does for us, we want to give thanks for that. Any judgments that we have of it, we want to let go with that outgoing breath. And I visualize a pyramid. This is why you see the pyramid at the beginning of my daily broadcasts. On that pyramid is the side of the body. It's a three-sided pyramid. So that side lights up, right? Now we're going to take in the second breath, and we're going to hold at the top of the breath. Breathe in through your nose, and we'll release out through the mouth. So inhale with me. Hold. Spread that light out to the outer edges of the body, to the tops of your heads, to the bottoms of your feet, the tips of your fingers. Allow for any more adjustments to the chakras with ease and grace. Release the breath. Also intending for anything that doesn't belong to you in your aura or in your body to go down that grounding cord, to be recycled in the earth. Continue to bring up that earth energy. Remember, this grounds you and brings you into the present moment. It also clears the lower half of your body, connects you to the planet, to where you are right now. Giving thanks with that breath to the mind for all the mental activity that it does, for all of the computing, worrying, thinking, solving, the good and the bad, just giving thanks to the mind. You know, even when the mind drives us crazy, it's sort of being able to laugh at it or the fears or the doubts of the ego. And just setting all of that sort of stuff aside and just saying thank you to the mind. Seeing another side of that pyramid light up, and this would be the side of the mind, seeing it in support and equality with the body. Seeing them connected in grace and ease, in a vibration of grace and ease with one another. Neither is more important. They're both equal. And both equally important. Let's take in that third breath. Inhale with me now. Hold. Allow for any last minute adjustments to the chakras. Spread that white light that is your light all the way out into your aura, to the outer edges of your aura, 360 degrees around you, above you, and below you. And release that breath. Again, allowing anything to go down that grounding cord that we no longer need, that does not serve us. And then seeing the third side of that pyramid light up. This is the spirit. Seeing it sort of leaning against the body and the mind, all three in support of one another and in equality and appreciation of one another. Spin that pyramid a little bit. If there's a side that you need to focus on right now, that side might light up a little bit brighter for you, or your attention might be drawn towards that side. Is it the mind? Is it the body? Is it the soul, the spirit? But acknowledging and giving thanks for the spirit for all that it does for us, both seen and unseen. For all of the vast knowledge, creativity, capability that's within our spirit that we maybe don't feel as though we always have contact with or access to. Reminding ourselves that when we're in support, when these three components of ourselves are in support and equality with one another, we actually can access wonderful attributes within each of these three components of ourselves. And then as I see this all lit up and it's spinning in front of me, I imagine a fourth light kind of in the center of the pyramid that lights up the base of the pyramid, which is the emotions. And this base connects all three sides of the pyramid, right? So this is how the mind, the body, and the spirit kind of communicate back and forth through our emotional state. And it's not to say that any emotion is good or bad, or it's just a way that they communicate to us how we're feeling, what's right, what's wrong, what feels right, what feels good, what feels bad. All of it is just sort of a form of communication. So looking at this, we want to give thanks to the emotions, give gratitude to the emotions for the sort of barometer that it is, and sort of the wonderful mechanism that it is for communication. It's not something to fear. It's also an equality, right? It's the bottom base of this pyramid. It's the same size and in the same sort of position, and it's also underneath the mind, body, and the spirit. They support these aspects of self. It's part of the foundation of which these three aspects work. Just take a few breaths here and just see this. Intend it to be these three sides and the emotions all in sync, in harmony, in grace, and in ease. And if something doesn't feel right, if something is pulling your attention, acknowledge that side of the pyramid, whatever it may be. Take a few breaths and take note. Now I like to take this pyramid and I like to bring it into all of my chakras, kind of because this pyramid is all lit up now and in equality. It sort of resets my chakras for me. And it reminds me of who I am. I have my light shining around me now. It is pure. This is my space. I have dominion over it. Nothing can come into my space unless I allow it. The words of others, the actions of others, if I give those things my attention and my emotion and all of that sort of stuff, and I place those labels and things on it, and I create the space for it, then I allow it in. But we're releasing the things that we don't want, that don't belong to us, that were left in our space that we don't need anymore. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Hey, Jen Nichols, the list is not full. We were doing, hey, Jamie Taylor, how are you? We were just doing a little bit of breath work. How did that work for anybody? Or did I lose everybody? Did everybody just sign off? Hey, Kat, how are you? Did y'all guys go like, oh, he went to sleep, screw it, we're out of here? We're going to go over to Lightworkers live feeds. Oh, awesome, Lisa. Thank you very much. And Lisa, I think that the second tier, wait, yeah, the second tier will get a special reading. Second tier and up all gets a special reading that I'm gonna do when I get back from Florida. Good. I'm glad it worked great for you, Sean. Congratulations. I've received something, 100 message to something with Restream chat. I don't know what that means. You like that, Emily? Good. That was nice, Karen. Good. That's the image that you see at the beginning of the reason why I put that image of that spinning pyramid at the beginning of the forecast is to give you guys a visual of what I'm talking about when I talk about the pyramid and the three breaths. We take one and give great gratitude for the body, then one for the mind, then one for the spirit. I believe that's the sort of, in my mind, the way that the energy goes. The densest form of our energy is our body, right? It's the physical form of the bones, the cells, all of that sort of stuff. The next densest is the mind and its sort of activity, and then the spirit is the, you know, the highest vibration, and then somewhere in there is the emotions, which it kind of crosses over, I think, all sorts of all the different levels of vibration, if that makes any sense at all. I'm not 100% clear on exactly how that works, but when I look at it in meditation, it's sort of like the emotions kind of connect all three vibrations, and we sort of feel them like through the body and through the mind and through the spirit, and it's, I'm still trying to sort it out. So, no, Lisa, it's not one for you. It's one for the entire group of Patreons. It's going to be like a pick a card. It's an archangel message that will be in a reading for everyone. Not It's not like I'm not going to read every single person that signs up. That's not what it is. It's like a special archangel message that will happen with certain decks that I will tape. So. Christina wants to know, how do mediumship readings work? In what way? Mediumship, first off, is like generally talking to deceased spirits or incarnate spirits, or I'm sorry, not incarnate, discarnate spirits. So it's usually talking to past loved ones. And then different people have different theories on how they work. I've been training, like trying to learn how to sort of understand it better, because I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there about what mediumship is and what classifies or counts for mediumship. I'm not a authority by any means. I can only talk about what I've studied or what I've learned. A lot of mediumship is based on evidentiary mediumship, which is like telling the sitter about their loved one. Very specific information. It can be dates, it can be names, it can be memories, it can be qualities of the deceased person, right? Like their attitudes or the way they dressed. Very specific evidentiary stuff, and that's the part that kind of intimidates me, and so I try and do it, and when I get out of my own way, sometimes I actually come through and I do some stuff that it spooks me. I'm like, wait, where did that come from? Because I'm not 100% clear on how I pull it off when I do pull it off. Like when I read cards, I feel like the card is like a go-between, and then a lot of what I'm sensing and feeling or seeing in my mind's eye, to me it feels like it's like a tool, right? With mediumship, you don't have those tools, and so it's a little bit holding the connection can be hard, keeping the link. There's different things. There's a lot of stuff to mediumship. I'm still learning a lot of it. That's why when I talk about like going to learn mediumship, like I'm going to Florida to study in a class, because I want to learn. I'm the type of person that I would never want to like tell somebody I can do that if I don't know exactly what I'm doing. You know, I don't like to do that. I'm not that kind of like, I want to know why it works the way it works and how to call it in and how to give an actual real service, right? In the sense that if I'm doing mediumship now, I don't charge for it. I practice with people. Like I have a contest going where I pull names and I'll give them a mediumship reading over the phone, but it's free. It's like a contest thing so that I can get practice as much as maybe somebody can get contact with their past loved one. Am I always accurate? Not always. You know, like sometimes I get things wrong or I'll cross wires. Like I will be bringing in information that I'm picking up and I'm writing it down or sharing it with them. And then it'll be like I'm describing, I'm thinking it's one person, but it's actually maybe another person has come in. And so it's this weird thing where I'll have a sitter and they'll be like, oh, well, you're describing my dad there, but that sounds more like my brother, you know? And I'm like, is your brother passed? And they're like, yeah, both of them are over there. And I was like, okay. So I didn't notice like that there was maybe a, it's weird. I'm still working on figuring out how all the mechanics of it and how it works for me so that I can better deliver it to you guys. So that's my mediumship skills, if you want to call them skills. It is fun to do though, and it's humbling. Like I have to say this, like it's really it can be a shocker. Like when shit comes through and then people validate it, you're just like, where did that come from? How did I do that? It's from spirit, right? But it's like, not scary, but more like just humbling. Like, I don't know. So that's why I kind of get a little bit nervous about doing it or claiming that I can do it, because I don't know whatever's going to come through or not. That's the other thing too, is that like I've seen people, like there's different schools of thought, right? So I don't want to like say anything is right or wrong, but I have heard from very qualified people that teach this stuff, that have been teaching this stuff for years and years, that have been working as professional mediums at a national level or whatever you want to call it, international level, that teach at major schools and things like that, that are pretty much authorities on the subject. They talk about how you can't like say, oh, who do you want to come through? It's not like you're a wedding DJ. Like, it's not like you can make requests. Like, ooh, play Skinnerd. You know, it's like, when spirit comes through, it's just whoever comes through. So, you know, if you're asking for a specific person, you might miss the whole message of something else that might come through for maybe you or for somebody else. And so, you know, I've seen different people do different ways. There are totally good mediums on Facebook that I've watched work, and I'm like, whoa. Like, you can tell, like, you can feel that they're connected. It's a strange feeling that I get, that I'm like, oh, wow, they're really on it. Oh, Queen Kimmy, you sent... Oh, shit. Sorry, I gotta put that out. That flame was getting a little too hot. It just cracked my glass. Wow. I don't know what the hell just cracked my glass, but I know it was the flame, the heat from the flame, but just in case. Something's trying to get my attention. Talking about mediumship. And then all of a sudden glasses are cracking. Yeah, it's just really hot, but see that? It cracked right down the side of the glass. See that? And sometimes I think that like spirit tries to get me to talk, like they try to get me to like connect, and I don't want to connect. I'm like, no, bitch. Leave me alone. I'm trying to nap. Leave me alone. So that's just kind of how I am. All right, Queen Kimmy, hold on 1 second. Girl, hold on, girl. How's everything in Japan? Oh, don't be chills. It's all right. This shit happens. This is the thing. I'm not too worried. Like, spirit, I feel as though I'm protected. I feel as though I have dominion over my space. I don't necessarily think that we can control spirits around us in the sense that, like, you know, I just know that I'm protected. I don't sweat it. Like, a glass cracks or some noise happens, I'm not like, ooh, there's a ghost in the house, help. You know, it's like, if you believe you're vulnerable, then you're going to be vulnerable. I mean, that's just kind of my feeling on it. I also believe that God gives us the right to our own space. We don't have to let everything in. So, it doesn't scare me. There's actually people in bodies that scare me more than the people out of bodies, to be honest. I really wanted to tell the truth. Like, you know, I feel like people out of body are easier to deal with than some of the motherfuckers that are in body. Excuse my language. Okay. There's probably furballs playing all over the background. Queen Kimmy says, LOL, someone was trying to get my attention last night. I ignored them. I do it all the time too. Like, I'm like, not today. Like, I'm sorry. And that's the other thing too, is like sometimes if you give it too much attention, this is my feeling, and this is just a personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, but this is my opinion and my experience, is that sometimes if you give it too much attention or too much power or like, I don't know what you want to call it in your life, you'll get nothing done. You'll be too busy like ghost chasing or like, you know, no, I wouldn't even call them ghosts, but you know, like too busy caught up in like, oh, what are they trying to say and who's the message for? And you know what? Until they're paying my rent, I can be on hold. I've been told that by other teachers too. They're like, you know what? If it's not making sense, send them away. Just send them away. You lost your YouTube signal, Lisa? That's crazy. All right, let's see if my camera's working, how well I've got this centered out. Okay, let's go. Oh, knocked over my holy water. All right, I had to move the camera. Let me grab my holy water. I just spray holy water in the corners of the room. It's not like a superstitious thing. It's a consecration thing. It's actually holy water from a church in Mexico that I brought back with me. And I keep it on the desk because you also are supposed to keep water nearby when working with spirit. Just in case you didn't know, they might get thirsty. I don't know. Thirst trap. Just kidding. All right, so let me look at my thing here. Okay, so awesome. So Jen has paid me, and so has Kimmy. So Kimmy, hey Tammy Chirasso, how are you? Kimmy, what do you want me to charm on? And I'm gonna light another candle, a different candle, one that ain't gonna crack. And if this one cracks, then we got a problem. One second, I'll be right back. Hi, kitten. Oh my god, gosh, bitch. What? That's weird. All right, that is a little weird. Okay. I'm interested in reading on what I should do about, hold on one second, I'm trying to read this, about a guy I'm talking to recently. I really like him. We had a small disagreement and now I'm sad. Okay, let me charm and see what's going on. Don't tell me too much about what's going on, Kimmy. Don't tell me anything more. You want me to read you and do the charms. If you tell me too much about what's going on, then I'll be more like affected by what you're thinking about. So don't, no more details. But I just walked out. This is another weird thing. I just walked out into the kitchen. This is gonna sound stupid, but my stove and my microwave are set at the same time. And if we have a power outage, they'll go off at the same time, and it'll be blinking 12, right, or whatever. I just went out there, and I was in the microwave earlier making dinner because I made a little like microwave potato-y thing with meat and whatever, and uh, it was normal. I just walked out there and the clock says 6:22 on the stove and the microwave says 1:34. And I was like, did I like take it off early? Like, is that 1:34? So I went to go press start to see if it would start up, and it's not starting. It's just at 1:34 and went to 1:35. So I don't know. You're right. It's okay. Don't be sorry, Queen Kimmy. I'm gonna just put on some charming music. Let me get going here. I gotta find something that's good to charm to. This one will work, I guess. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Let's get this shit charming. Oh. Should I do it? Alright, so let's see what the charms have for Kimmy and her days. I did sage a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. There's protections put all over the house. Like as far as angelic stuff. So I'm not worried. If it's anything that's like trying to do me any disservice or harm, it's like I'm not worried. It just kind of bounces back to whatever it is. Oh, we hear all these charms and you're like, I want to get in it. Alright, so we've got an S, we've got a P, we've got an I, we've got an O, and we've got an L. Spoil. Right? Spoil. Oh, that's a strange word to come up. Okay. Hold on, this sage is like deciding to do its own thing tonight. 1 second, I need to put this thing out. Or else it's gonna be like a German nightclub in here, all smoky. Okay, so let's look at this here. What do we got going on here? Ooh, so. Kimmy, are you a Pisces? Hold on, I gotta get the chat thing up. Because you have the Pisces charm here, and then the Libra's right next to it. You also have this broken heart here. This half heart is part of the twin flame heart to me. But you don't have the other half, which kind of, you know, I would want to say like, ooh, it looks like it would be something significant. Could be like a soulmate connection, maybe. Not necessarily. You are a Pisces? Yes, yeah, that's what I thought. So you do have the Pisces charm here. This guy's not a Libra, is he? Because Libra is up here, all next to you. Yeah, it is all smoky like a German nightclub up in this bitch, right? My name is Hans. Dance with me. So, let me see here. And we also have this heart charm here next to it that's face down. And this has got, who does this have on it? Oh, this has like the Lady of Lords. And you know what? It's interesting because I've been watching her. Do you know that the Blessed Virgin Mary on Facebook, have you guys found that channel yet? She's got like her own YouTube channel where they broadcast every day from Lourdes, France, where the statue is in Lourdes. So this is the Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Lourdes, or whatever, the Virgin Mary statue, but it's face down. And so you also have the Virgin Mary here too. What is going on here? Let me just ask for a moment. I kind of feel like you're both too fearful. I kind of feel like this is actually your heart and you're kind of hiding it too. And the reason why I feel like this is your heart, Kimmy, is because we have the femininity of the Mother Mary there. And so to me, it feels like the sage is going to burn like a bitch. Hold on one second. Come on. It goes out and then it relights. So to me, this feels like the more feminine aspect of like maybe your heart. And I feel like you're maybe hiding it at this point. I also feel like this could be him potentially. And he's sort of facing down and away. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like he's present or interested, but it doesn't seem like he's willing to come to the table, too. The other reason why I think that both of you might be scared of each other is this courage thing, this courage stone that's sitting on top of all of it that really kind of draws my attention. And it's underneath, it's over Mary's feet, which sort of feels like it might be on you to come around, or that it might be up to you, which God knows, like, women already have to do enough as it is. But like, I feel like it's asking you to be courageous a little bit. This face down man here makes me feel like I don't know if he's ready. God, every time I stop touching this sage, it starts burning again. And this key between these two signs here make me feel like there is sort of like this funny connection between you two. Like, I do think that maybe it's like you guys, this isn't like the first time you guys have met, so to speak. Like, maybe there is past life energy, or there is some sort of connection. This key is sort of connecting both of these two signs. I don't know that he's a Libra per se, but maybe he's got planets in Libra, or I don't know if you consider him a very balanced person, because that's sort of the symbol of the scales with Libra. But I kind of get the feeling that this could be you and him. This frog also is usually represents like cleansing to me, and he's around the courage symbol. So to me, when I look at this spoil idea, spoil is a funny word, right? I want to explain this to you. I pulled 10 to 1s about this. I'm tired of holding the burden up for men. Well, here's the thing. I want to say this. Spoil is an interesting word in the sense that, you know, food can spoil, but you can also sort of celebrate the spoils of war, right? Or the good things, right? Like, there's spoils like a kind of weird word in the sense that it could mean something really bad, but it also is sometimes used as like the spoils of war, or the spoils of like, you know, like it's also used in sometimes as a sort of like a abundance thing, generally out of a bad situation. But so I don't necessarily feel like this is necessarily a bad word. It's kind of, to me, I feel like when I'm looking at the spoil, this frog feels like it could cleanse this spoil away. Oh, sorry, I'm knocking it out of stay in focus, please. So I feel like it could be knocking this spoil out of the way, or sort of cleansing it. You do have one of the Reiki chakra symbols. Let's see which one. I think this is long distance healing. You have the 4, can you see this down there? Let me move this down a little bit. You have the 4 red dye, which to me is about stability, and also being red would be about love. And then we have the, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. I kind of feel like, I kind of feel like if Mary is face up, even though her world's a little upside down, she's closer to the courage thing. She might have to be courageous to bring about the cleansing of this relationship, or like sort of the renewing of this relationship, like sort of like what rain would bring. It may wash away the spoil, or allow you to explore the good spoils of it. I do think both of you carry your own baggage. I think that you're hiding your heart a little bit, and I think that this broken heart kind of represents, my feeling is it gives me an idea that it might be both of you have your sort of past issues, right? And so you guys might both be leading with those past issues and allowing those past issues to kind of, or past pain sort of is mingled in this area. So it's like, do we open the door or do we not? Right? And I kind of feel like you're more apt to want to open the door than maybe he might be at this time. But I'm not saying he's not like interested. I just think that you might have to be the courageous one in all of this. You might have to be the one that sort of sets forth and brings about sort of the idea of, you know, making this happen. You might have to be, I don't want to say the aggressor, but it looks to me like you might have to be the one that sort of kicks it in. Okay, now this sage is like really like just burning deep in the center. Right? That's a good idea too. I feel like you guys did know each other. I feel like there's something that is going on here for sure. That key makes me feel like this is something that you both might be feeling and understanding. And it's hard to sort of not sense that or feel that with him. And that might be sort of the emotional part of it. So what do I do? He hasn't texted back. I would say wait for him to, well, this sort of makes me a little nervous that he might not text back. Like he's turned his back on you a little bit. And that might be to gather space. My gut is telling me, like, as I'm looking at this, it kind of feels to me like I would say calm down emotionally as best you can. And the reason why I say that is because this Pisces charm is bigger than the Libra charm, and the Libra charm feels like it's about balance, whether that's his sign or not. I feel like he might be a little bit more balanced or a little bit more like less emotional or whatever. And so I feel like the Pisces symbol is saying to me that even though Pisces are great emotional people, right now you might want to keep your emotions in check because uh, you don't want to like overwhelm him. Because I feel like when I look at this charm, like he's kind of like maybe got a little bit like a foot out the door. So I would just be careful because I think that he's still sort of here, right? His charm is present, like he's still kind of here and considering it, but he's not quite sure. And so I would say it's like be courageous, but don't necessarily smother him or overpower him. I don't think you're smothering him per se, but I just think that you kind of like when I'm looking at these charms, I feel like Mary is stronger than him, right? She's got a little bit more of a weight or a heft to her. She's got a little bit more intensity. Like if we've got two hearts here, right? This might be your heart, this might be his heart. His heart might be really broken from previous situations or life experiences that you're not maybe aware of yet. And so I kind of feel like when I'm looking at like if this is your heart and you're kind of like leading with it, or maybe you're hiding a little bit and not putting it all out there, but you're leading with like a whole heart, where he's leading with maybe half a heart, right? And so I feel like this charm is also bigger to this charm, right? There's some more intensity coming here. There is this key in between the two of you, which says to me that you guys are kind of, you know, keys and locks. You could be sort of locked together at some level, be it like through, you know, karmic stuff or past life stuff. And so you guys might be feeling that, but that could be intimidating to him. I do like that you have this 4 down here, which 4s always represents stability, and the red dice to me makes me think of love. The only other thing it would be anger, but I don't feel like this is anger. This is more about, I think, both of you kind of trusting the process and allowing it to like sort of unfold. The question is like I almost want to ask if you could be vulnerable to him. Do you feel safe? And these are just questions I'm posing to you. Like, I don't necessarily need you to answer them, but like when I'm looking at these charms, the questions I want to ask is like, do you feel safe around him enough to be vulnerable with him? Do you feel like you can be your true self with him? Um, do you feel like he's giving you his true self, right? I mean, I think that he might be at times, but I also think that he withdraws it at times. But you're also withdrawing too, I feel like, at times. Neither of you are being like sort of 100% upfront. Well, don't be so heartbroken. I'm sorry to see your broken heart emojis. I feel like he is withdrawn too. That's why he's face down here. But I also feel like it's not out of the question. Like, don't want you to walk away from this thinking that it's over just yet. It's not over at all, is how I feel. I think that it's about sort of how you go about it moving forward. Like, if you could find like an opportunity to sort of just ease up a bit about it, I think that there might be an opportunity for this to come back around and be okay. I know you both feel it. That's why there's like all this heart energy up here, girl. You guys both feel it, and the key and this 2 star signs. Do you know what his sign is? What sign is he? I would say just relax, not necessarily pull back. I would think that this to me, this courage seems to me like maybe just be courageous in the sense of just relax and trust that everything things will be fine, and you'll know what to instinctively do as you move forward. That there is a connection here, and just because there's a connection doesn't mean you want to like necessarily get all freaked out by it, right? You want to enjoy it. So we want to think about it in positive ways, in ways that make us feel good, in ways that are going to sort of attract him to you versus, you know, scare him off. And I don't think you're going to, I don't want to say scare him off, but that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from this charm is like he could be sort of, you know, he might take the easy road out and just ditch if, like, I would play it sort of aloof a little bit, back off a little bit, and just sort of let him come to you. I don't think he's done completely. And this idea of if you believe in yourself, anything is possible, and we have this 4 in the red down here in the subconscious, it really says to me that you can create a stable love. And this idea, but you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you can create it. You need to believe that you deserve it. You need to believe that, you know, and if you're running all this crazy heartbreak energy and, oh my God, he's going to leave, and what if, and oh my God, well, you just create that situation and then it all explodes, right? We don't want to do that. We want to be courageous in believing in ourselves, bring in that cleansing and that calming energy, that calm Mother Mary energy, that centered feminine energy. Know that we're okay. We want to reap the spoils of this relationship, not let the relationship spoil behind our worries. Right? So there's this word spoil to me is funny because it feels like it could go either way. Like the word says to me, do you want to reap the spoils or do you want to allow it to spoil? And so it really is about finding confidence in yourself, understanding your own self-worth, and knowing that your heart is gold, right? There's this golden heart here that you may be hiding. That's the part where I feel like, do you feel like you can be vulnerable to him? And the question goes both ways too. He's not here asking for a reading, so I can't say whether or not he feels like he can be vulnerable to you. He might be only working with this half heart, right? You know, he might be working with like a more broken heart or a more jaded outlook. And those things you have to take into account as you're moving forward. I know that I don't want you to like limit yourself or censor yourself around him, but I do think that like if you're interested in him and you trust in yourself, I think things will work out. But you have to trust your instincts and be courageous in that idea, right? And move forward in that. And if it doesn't work out, right, you need to understand that whatever sort of connection you two have, I mean, this is easier said than done, but it will come back around at some other point. You'll meet him again somewhere, not maybe in this lifetime, but maybe in another. And I know that's a very metaphysical kind of like hunky-dory answer, but the truth of the matter is if you really believe and you feel that that connection is there, then there's really nothing to fear because you will cross paths again. I don't want to be until I know he's serious. That's fine. I think that you don't have to be vulnerable with him until he's serious. But let him prove to you that he's serious. But if he doesn't, like, his back's turned to you, right? So if he doesn't come rushing at you with proof immediately, don't sink the ship. You have to remain calm and courageous and believe in yourself and this idea of stability at a very deep level to create a space for that to come in. And if he's working with, like, say, a broken heart or half a heart, you've got to give him time. He's not maybe going to get it all right away. Let me know how it works out, Queen Kimmy. Do you need to take a picture of this? And think about the spoils. Like, seriously, because I really think that spoil could be like both the enjoyment or the you know, rotting of the relationship. Not rotting, but you know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Haley. You're welcome. You're welcome, Kimmy. Thank you for buying a charming tonight. I appreciate it. I hope everything in Japan is good, girl. It's good. All right, Miss Jennifer. Please like the business page, you guys. And if you're watching, but see, it's not about the disagreement, Queen Kimmy. I think that he's like, that broken heart thing is like, he's got his own baggage. I think it has less to do with you and the disagreement than it has to do with him and maybe his nerves or worries. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, please like my business page and follow it so that you can be notified when I do free events and things like that, or when I'm on doing other live charmings. If you have a YouTube account, please go in and subscribe to my YouTube account. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a great way to support me and the channel. So please do that. I love cross watchers and cross dressers and cross whatever you can come up with. You just do it. You were going to, but the link was not working, so maybe it's not time yet. Oh, okay. I'm not sure, Kelly. This link's not working? You didn't do anything, Queen Kimmy. It's not, I think that it has to do with him. And this is the thing where that charm down here in the corner was that I need, like, being able to believe in yourself. Like, concentrate on that. And that red dice with the 4 says to me that there is this opportunity for, like, a stable love. You need to sort of build that in the future moving forward with, like, having this confidence about you, that don't let his behaviors or his, how he handles this be a reflection on how you value yourself or how your opinions of yourself sit. Do you know what I'm saying? Crossing guards? What are you talking about, Andrew? Oh, is mine working, Kelly? Can you try this link here that I'm typing in right now and tell me if that works? Do you see the one that says Restream IO? The Engelgeist 333? Is it not working? Let me tap it and see if it works for me. Mine seems to work, but it's working for me. I don't know if it's working for you guys. Or maybe you guys aren't seeing my link. Are you seeing my link? Can anybody hear me? Oh, crossing guard. Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, they say cross watcher on YouTube, and I always think cross dresser, and so the link worked for you. You don't see it yet? Maybe you can't see my restream thing. You can hear me? Okay, great, Queen Kimmy. The other night they couldn't hear me when I did the love. Oh, Queen Kimmy, I did a love. You might want to go look at your love. I did a special February love pick a card video, so you might want to watch that. Cross bearers, exactly. You guys can't see my restream link that I'm typing into the chat? That's a problem. Thank you, Pam. I can't hear you, but thank you for acknowledging that you can hear me. Oh, you got Amethyst? Ah, Miss Thinking Too Much. Did you see the theme song? I put a theme song for each stone in the description. There's another link that she's using. The PayPal link. But I was using the Linktree link. Because that gets you guys all to... to all my social media. Anyways, Jen Nichols, are you here? Oh shit. Did Jen leave? Miss Jen Nichols. I might be talking too much for her. She might be like, I got kids. I gotta go. Jen, are you here still? Jen Nichols. Oh, you are here. Okay, good. I thought maybe I lost you because I thought maybe the kids needed you. All right. Oh, so Ducky's saying that the people that are saying the link doesn't work need to reload from your end, like sign out and go back in, come back in. That's what she's saying. So you could try that. That might be why you're not seeing my link. I'm not sure. And if not, you guys, I normally do this on Wednesdays and Friday nights. This Friday it will be canceled because I'll be traveling. On Love, okay, Jen. Let me switch cameras. On Friday night, I will be traveling, so I'm not going to do one this Friday, but next Wednesday I'll be back doing this too. Oh my God, Jen. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. The spider fell out. So I'm going to put him on the side for a minute because I'm not sure what he's trying to do there. He might be important. So we're going to look at this. We've got an N. We've got an E, a D. We've got an H. We've got an R. We've got nerd. We've got nerds. We've got multiple nerds. We've got another E. We've got an R. Nerd herd. I don't know what this is. It's a lot of letters. They may not mean anything, but all right, so let's look at this in the reference to love. Wow, so our friend the key is back. Do you see that? So is Mary. Interesting. And the frog is back too. Her nerds, exactly. Are those? Do you call your children nerds by chance, Jen? Her nerds, her little nerds running around. All right. So let me see. What's going on here? All right. So you've got a lot of interesting stuff. You've got the lovers right here. The kind of the cuddling couple. And they're next to the bony fish and next to the lizard, which represents the dreaming, but he's flipped over on his belly. To me, this feels like... Hold on one second. Her lovers are nerds, right? I don't think that's the case. How... because this is public, Jen, how deep do you want me to go? Like how, what's the word? Like candid do you want me to be? Because I don't want to be too candid or say too much because this is a public room. You call them the Punky Bunch? That's cute. Can you just let me know, Jen, before I go forward? Because that bony fish next to the lovers makes me feel a little bit nervous. However deep I want. Okay. All right. I'm going to share with you what I think then. this to me feels like a little bit like maybe something is not delivering in the way that it used to. The lovers here with the dreaming, like this is the lizard of dreaming. It feels like he's flipped over on his back, like maybe the dreams are gone, and also this fish. Like I don't know if this is a period that you've already been through, where things were feeling a little bit like rough or rougher than normal. Maybe the sort of like feeling like the shine was a little bit kind of taken away, or you're not feeling quite as connected. But to me, it feels like, and also this bony fish to me feels like sort of uh, like it's not, I don't want to say, hold on, let me look at this for a second. And which charm is this? Because we have the sex side up on this charm. Again, Pisces. Um, all right, so when I look at this, it sort of feels like there is like sort of like the frost is off the pumpkin in a way. Like I feel like maybe something that used to be satisfying doesn't feel as satisfying as it used to. And that I don't know if this is a period in the past where it's already come by, like you're coming through it and you're maybe getting to the end of it. Uh, but to me, it feels like it's kind of obvious. Like it doesn't feel like it can be denied very much anymore, or that you can't not see it at this point. You do have the unicorn, which is good. That's like sort of the magic charm. Like to me, it's like about personal magic, and so that's a good charm. But it's sitting on top of the Sacred Heart that's flipped upside down, right? So to me, and then we have the Matador jacket face down, which to me is also the symbol for bravery. And we have the Eiffel Tower here, which usually is the idea of love, right? Or it could represent travel. And so when I'm looking at these two on either side of Mary, which I feel like Mary is indicative of you, I feel like there's this idea of wanting to be brave and possibly like moving forward. Like this would be sort of like maybe moving forward in love or moving forward in your relationship, but things need to change is kind of how I feel. Like there's this idea here that things are not, something's not cutting it, right? What used to work doesn't work anymore or isn't necessarily bringing you the same joy that it used to, it feels like to me. And so you're acknowledging that. Like, I feel like this Mary feels very in control. Like, she understands what she needs, what she wants, and she understands that she sort of needs to be brave. I feel like this heart being flipped over like this feels like to me, with the magic of the unicorn on top of it, it feels like to me like there might have been a period of time where you were having to really hold it together and maybe deny sort of what was going on in your heart or how you were feeling in your heart because you had to be strong and you had to like sort of keep your strength, your magic, whatever it is that you needed to do around you or working for you. I like when I look at these two charms together, it feels like there was a period of time where it felt like you were maybe carrying the weight of a lot of this on your own for the rest of the family or the support of the family, that kind of a thing, right? When I look at the future charms, and we'll get down to like this stuff down here in the bottom, again you have the Merkaba too, deep down here in the subconscious, and to me Merkaba is always about like sort of spiritual transformation and travel, and it's right next to the heart chakra. And again, we have the world or the globe, which also would represent sort of travel or your own world. Um, and then we have the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra here, and it's sort of flipped over. Is this the elephant? Who is this? Yes, it's the elephant, which is totally family. Okay. And then the house is on the elephant. So when I look at all of this, it kind of feels like, and maybe I'm wrong about this, your Venus is in Pisces. Is it? Oh, my, that's why. My Venus is in Pisces too, Jen. Oh, you watery lover, you. Because my Venus and my Mercury is in Pisces. So, you have the charm for Pisces here, right? But it's the sex side up. These are like porno tokens that I had from years ago when I lived in San Francisco. You'd find them in the street, like on Folsom Street, because there was all these porno theaters, and they all have these like in coitus couples, and I saved a bunch of them just because I wanted to collect all the different signs. Anyways, you have the coitus side up, which to me also tracks into these lovers that are sort of joined here too. And I feel like there is this connection that's going on here, but this fish to me and this lizard kind of, and the upside down frog feels like something needs to be renewed, something needs to be cleaned away or cleared away. Like there might just be a little bit, maybe too much. Stuff doesn't feel as good as it used to, or this could be sort of in the past too, right? Like you might be coming through this period where you were having to be strong and maybe deny some of the stuff that you were feeling in your heart so that you could kind of hold things together and keep your personal power and magic around you, right? And I feel like when I look at these two charms, you weren't doing it just for you, you were doing it for others too, like to kind of make sure that everybody was okay. Like, because if you sort of, I feel like if you, how do I want to say this? Like if you acknowledged it, or if you like didn't hold it together, like everything would have fallen apart. It's sort of the feeling that I'm getting when I'm looking at these two charms. Um, so that's what I see going on here. Then, like when we get more into the present time, I've got the bravery charm face down, and I've got this like sort of love versus travel charm, which to me it feels like she has a choice here. Like she could be brave and maybe make the move or make a change. And then down here, deep in the subconscious, we have this heart charm. We have the Merkaba. We have the world again, which is like sort of where. So the questions I want to pose from these is like, where do we want to go? Where are we connected spiritually? Where are we connected through our heart? Where does that connect into our world, right? Or where does that place us within our world? Do we need to change our world in any way at a deeper level? Are we feeling that sort of pull at a very deep level? Because I would say that this heart chakra and this Merkaba chakra, oh hi, this Merkaba charm are no joke being down here in the because like Merkabas are like about spiritual travel, spiritual transformation, that sort of thing. They can bring about major change, and so this going forward to me, it feels like, and this is kind of leaking into the future, right? It's kind of like, okay, where are we deeply wanting to go within the depths of our heart? What does that world look like to us? Where do we fit into that? How do we create that world? And then up here in the present mind, this is also kind of in the future. It looks like the house, and then we have the elephant, right? Which is about sort of personal wisdom, strength, that sort of thing, grounding. It can also represent sort of family in the way that elephants sort of are in familial packs their entire life. And the fact that it's so close to the house makes me think that like it could be the family, is sort of where my intuition is taking me. And this key to me speaks to the importance of the family and home for you. But it also feels like, and then we have the black heart ring here, which is also in the future. Hold on one second. Jen, I'm going to send you a message really quick. I'm sending you a message via Messenger, Jen. Sorry, guys, just give me one moment. Okay. All right. So that's sort of where I'm feeling this a little bit, Jen. And so that's why I'm asking. I don't want to like yeah, I agree. I totally she's totally sending me text. Sorry guys. We're just doing this a little bit offline because it's getting a little bit personal and so I want to talk to her directly because it's her business and nobody else's. And that's nothing no affront to you guys. It's just private. Oh, okay. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to show you these charms really quick, okay? Because I think that there's a lot of stuff. I think, you know what I want to do for you, Jen, is I want to read you privately outside of this public forum. I think that might help you. And I would be happy to do that, like, at another, like, when I'm back, we can totally sit down and do this over the phone. And I'll do it with the cards, too, where it's not necessarily the charms, just so that you can have that. Space to sort this out. But let me just read your last comment 1 second. Yeah, it does make sense, Jen. But here's the thing, I want to show you one thing before we shift out of this really quick. Um, and that's the thing that you're saying here about you're a blank. I don't want to say, but that's this and this. It's the travel that I feel like is going on in here. It's this idea of I've got to move, I've got to change, I've got to, and this bravery charm is at her feet too. But I want to say this. This is about being brave, and this is she feels very centered. She feels very strong, and her knowing is strong too. There's something though that intuitively you are denying, and I think that that has to do with this sort of jumbled up thing, but I'm not sure that this isn't yours. How do I want to say this? I don't want to say, and there's this definite fear here, like that I can feel, like with the ring, and then the family and the home and all of that, and turning that upside down, and unlocking that sort of door for that to happen. Where we don't want that to happen, or you don't want that to happen. It's sort of the sense, but like, um, yeah. Um, and then why did the spider fly out at me? Because spiders generally like the weaving, spiders about writing, spiders about like sort of the creation of the alphabet in the Native American belief, right? And so to me, or at least the story that I like about spider that I've found, so to me, spider represents maybe the writing of stuff. I'm not so sure that he's not jumping out like onto the table here to sort of like call out like maybe writing some of these thoughts out or this writing this out might get you to a place that's clearer. There is this sort of idea that like you're gonna know in your heart what you need, but it's funny to me because it's like your heart is not going to be denied, and I feel like up here there was this sort of denial of the heart that maybe you were doing where uh, it's about like putting forth your best foot in a way in this magic. Like you have this great magic, right? You have this ability to sort of really impress people and seem very sort of capable and but you sometimes I have a feeling when I'm looking at these two charms you sometimes do it at your own detriment, right? There's like a denial of your own heart somewhere when you do this, and it's not that it's not the real you. This unicorn represents as the real you. Like you have this wonderful magic even in Mary. We can see her strength and her virtue, all of that stuff, right? That you're this strong capable woman, but this is like really like you can move mountains like in some regards. Like people are like whether they'll admit it or not, they can be extremely impressed by you, right? Maybe even intimidated. Like they're like, who is that magical creature? But I feel like underneath that there's this sort of like you're not acknowledging this beautiful heart that's underneath here on some level, or um, you're not allowing maybe others to acknowledge it. Like to me, when I look at this heart, it feels like this heart is so much more like you, and you have it down here too, right? You have this heavy sort of like heart, not heavy heart, I mean, but you have this intense, like these intense heart charms happening in here. And so I think at the deeper level, you're aware and you're in touch with it. But at a more surface, like kind of day to day level, you maybe don't allow everybody in or everybody to see that. Um, I think that's kind of it for what I see in these charms. I think writing will help. Maybe help you to clarify thoughts, help you to clarify ideas. I would like to do like a separate reading for you. God knows you've sort of like paid for readings and never received them with me for sure. And so I would be happy to do that once I'm back from Florida if you want to look at this more. Um, Sometimes Spirit's not the best speller. So I was just looking at this and I was thinking maybe this was like drains her. I know that's not how you spell drain, guys, so don't like come for me on the spelling. All you spelling police, don't come for me. Yes, let's do that, Jen. Okay, I will check right now, Ducky. Thank you. Do you need a screenshot of this, Jen? Okay, good to know. I just don't, like I kind of see it and I feel it in these charms, but I don't know how much of it I actually want to share at a public level, Where it's like, it's not necessarily bad stuff. I just want to make sure that your um, uh, privacy is protected. Oh, it's a good time. Totally. All right, I'm going to clear this off. Marnie, is that, I got a Marnie and then I got Kelly, of course. I know Kelly Talbot. So is Marnie the other lady? Hi, what are you, oh, hi, oh, hi. What are you coming here for? Hi. What are you doing? Oh, you smell like your cat box. Oh, you're probably rubbing like dingleberries on my leg. Great. Love you. Mean it. Nice fur. Hope you win. All right. Haley. That's it. Thank you. So Haley, you're up next, and then you will. Oh my God, the cats are acting Fruit Loopy. Do you hear that? Hey, you guys! I don't like that weird sadistic crying, Sven. That's weird. It's creepy. Okay. All right, Haley. So I can refer to you by whichever name you want, either Haley or Marnie, whichever you'd like. And I don't need a name or a birth date or anything. I just want a subject, like a one-word subject on what you want me to charm on, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, please. Giving me a word name. I am the Italian charmer. Giovanni. Just kidding. Or you can do a general charming if you'd like, which would just be general and we talk about what we see in the charms. So you don't have to have a specific topic if you don't have one. And then after that will be, who was the, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. I'm so brain dead. Kelly. Thank you. I was going to say Julie. I'm like, who the hell's Julie? Where you're headed. Okay, Haley Joyce. Where is Haley Joyce headed? Can I have a deep piece? Yes, you can, Mr. Where is this Haley Joyce headed? Oh my god, Mary's back! Mary's back! So you got an R and an L. Alright, so I'm going to say this right out of the gate. Mary reminds me of you, Haley. She's in the center. I feel like a lot of focus might be on you right now or your situation. I feel like there's a little bit of confusion with her. That's why she's sort of inverted to me and sort of sideways. I feel like you're going to get out of this and you're going to figure it out. And I also feel like you're headed to good places with this crown upright in a perfect position up here. Like, to me, this feels like very centered and ready to go. Like there's an honor that's going to happen in your future. And you also have this other crown back here, which represents generally the male, the king. The queen always has the bigger crown in my book. But I kind of wonder if you've maybe left somebody or you're having problems with a boyfriend, because I feel like this could be him here too. If you're going back and forth, maybe with a man. Can you give me a yes or no about that? Just let me know if that's a yes or no. Don't be nervous, Haley. Are you going back and forth with a boyfriend? Because I get this feeling that you might be. Like, I feel like maybe you've left him recently, or you're about to leave him, or you've left him in the past, that kind of a thing. And I feel like he's not fully out of the picture because I feel like he could be coming in the future, but that's okay. Like, and I want you to understand that if he is, don't worry, because he's face down in this future, meaning like I feel like you're gonna finally kick him to the curb. Is the feeling that I'm getting. Because here's the deal. She feels a little confused to me, right? But she has all of this sort of positive charms around her in the sense that she has the little owl, which means that you're smart and you have wisdom about you, right? I feel like you're maybe denying that, or like you're not allowing for that to really be your compass right now. You might be a little bit confused because of your emotions or your heart or the back and forth going on in the relationship. We also have the anchor here, which says to me that this relationship might be a little bit of a weight on you and dragging you down a little bit. And it's also fucking with your personal magic. Remember how Jen had her unicorn up here in the last reading? Hey, yours is sort of buried underneath this indeed charm, this indeed dice. And to me, indeed says to me, it feels like you know what you need to do. You've kind of known it for a while, and you've maybe gone back and forth trying to get rid of him or kick him to the curb, and you can't, or you take him back or whatever, and it's kind of dulling your shine, I feel like, a little bit. It's sort of like maybe gotten into your magic. I do love that Mary's here. I do feel like you're strong, sensitive, all the wonderful things that Mary represents, like compassion and all of those things. You have that in spades, right? But it's like, I feel like at some level you maybe aren't fully trusting it because it's not been acknowledged by him or by maybe other people around you. And so it's like, this is about you getting to that place. You will get to that place of trusting it, acknowledging it, and sort of treating yourself in the way that you deserve to be treated. But I think that you need to sort of move him out and let him go. Again, we have the spider again, and we also have the Eiffel Tower again. The Eiffel Tower, to me, like I said, could be about travel or love, but I think that it being sideways like that and kind of in between everything says to me that the love that you get from this gentleman might be a little bit sideways or a little bit crooked, not really like great love to begin with. And you've kind of maybe known that. I think that's why there was this either this breakup in the past or you tried to leave him in the past and he maybe won't leave you alone. Um, This is just a little bead that has a flower on it. It's funny to me. Like, it's sitting here next to his crown. Like, I feel like he has the ability. It was turned over on its side where you couldn't see the flower. So it says to me, like, he has the ability to be charming or, like, you know, woo you at times. And I think that's the way that he gets in. Like, little shit. um, I don't know if the RL means anything for you. Like, I don't know if that would be initials or anything at all. Um, Left or right. That's the only thing that I'm thinking of when I see that, but that doesn't mean anything. To me, I feel like when you're asking about the near future, I feel like this is about you getting your space clear, getting your Mary sort of upright, right? And understanding exactly what you deserve and how you deserve it. And you're going to get there, but you're going to have to probably part ways with him or send him off for you to really be able to have that. You're freaking out right now. You've known this though for a long time. The Indeed Charm says to me, you know that your light's been sort of squashed by him. You had a past love in France? No way. That is crazy. That is funny. Because you have the Eiffel Tower, girl. That's fucking hilarious. Man, that's just literal. R is the initial? It could very much be their initials. But the beauty about this is that to me it feels like you know what you're worth. That's this owl here. Like, your wisdom is strong. Like, you know, it's like there's a part here where this indeed tells me too that you know, like with certainty, sort of what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And you've maybe left him in the past a couple of times or whatever. And he has a way of maybe charming his way back in or like, you know. But in the end, he really is just sort of a heavyweight and he kind of dulls your shine. And you just don't want to do that anymore, like, is my feeling. And I don't feel like you have to do that anymore. Like, she is face upright, right? That's a good sign. She's not like totally denying herself. She just needs to kind of go like, boop, make herself the center of her world like that. And she'd be like, dude, kick off, kick rocks, right? Because look at how beautiful she is centered there in that board, right? And then all of a sudden, like, you know, everything's like she's in charge of everything. And I still love the one in France. Whoa, okay, so that might be that Eiffel Tower. You might need to go to France, girl. I don't want to be telling you um, anything specific like that, but that Eiffel Tower could mean that maybe you need to go visit him. I don't know. That's up to you and your own intuition to figure out. I'm not telling you to go buy any tickets to Across the World, girl. But I do think that crown sitting up there is beautiful, and it's like drawing my attention up there, right? Like, it almost looks like it's shining brighter than any of the other charms on the table. And so to me, that's your future. R is the one here in the same city. I used to date him years ago. I just moved to the coast where he is. Okay. Judy, they're $25. If you want to send payment, you send payment via PayPal, and then you can get in line. I have Kelly next. And then after that, there's a free spot. You were engaged to the one in France and you broke up a year ago. Do you know what the one in France is doing? Because, I mean, I'm not going to tell you to go to France, girl, but like that Eiffel Tower is sitting there, so it's kind of interesting. And it also looks like the tip of the Eiffel Tower is pointing to the future. So, I don't know. I mean, that's your decision to make, dear. I'm not making that one for you. That is up to you. When you arrived there on the coast, R contacted me, so I've been talking to him. Well, I would just go with whichever one you think is going to treat you more like a queen, because that's like really going to be your focus moving into the future. I think that's the most important thing for you. And the sort of the best thing for you. God, it's like cold. Okay. Well, I mean, that Eiffel Tower could just signify that that love is still sort of maybe in your space, like kind of lingering around. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go rekindle it, you know? Like that will be for you to decide in your heart. And like what I would say is do whatever makes you feel like you're treating yourself like, queen, right? Like that you are honoring yourself in every way possible. That's what you want to do because you deserve it. Thank you, Haley. That's sweet. Please like the business page if you'd like. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks, Christina. All right, so do you want to take a screenshot of this reading? You can. I always ask everybody if they want a screenshot to take one before I clear the charms off. Just so you can refer back to it. So did you screenshot it, Haley? I just want to make sure before I clear it off. Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so Miss Kelly, are you ready, dear? Let me just double check my PayPal. My PayPay account. Kelly, darling, are you here? General Secret Admirer. Okay, let's see what we got going on for General Secret Admirer for Kelly Charlotte. Thank you, Spirit. Mary is making a comeback tonight. She is just busy. She keeps showing up. Mary cannot get off the board. Oh my god, your secret admirer is in Rhode Island, Kelly. I'm just kidding. Oh no, he's in Erie, Lake Erie. No, we're missing an E. All right, so you have an E and R, an I, and an R. Let's see. What has Kelly got going on for general secret admirer? Hmm. Miss Kelly. All right. Okay, I'm gonna say this. You've got the giant wisdom here, but it's face down. This is a giant owl, right? And to me, this is the great wisdom. Like, this is like the big learning. And it's right in the dead center of the board, which says to me that there's something that you're either refusing to acknowledge, or like I kind of feel like maybe you're ignoring it altogether. Like, to me, this charm feels like the elephant in the room, and Mary is here and she's face down, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. What I do think is this is you hiding. It feels like you are kind of like choosing to not see something on purpose, like, and you know it too. That like, I feel like she's totally laughing at me right now, like this Mary, like she's going like, I don't want to look around, I don't want to look around, is what I'm hearing. You do have the grounding stone. This is this first chakra, the root chakra. It makes me want to like ask, like, if there is something that you're not looking at, right? If there is something that you're maybe avoiding, or something that, like, you know, and I'm just using this as an example, Kelly. It's not like a set in stone sort of situation, but if there is something that you are avoiding, is there some sort of fear that it might affect you in some sort of way? And it's funny because you have the family charm right here. And I wonder if there's like this idea that if you don't acknowledge it, it will protect the family in some way. Because this Mary's laying over the family charm. And it feels like this, with this grounding stone here, to me, it feels like you might be grounding in the belief that you need to sort of like not acknowledge something that's going on that to me, okay, this oh totally too. This feels like this green oh totally up here. It's just like oh totally, like everything's fine, don't worry. And it's really, it sort of feels like it's not. Like, it feels like there's this part of you that there's something that you're just not seeing. Or it's not that, I don't want to say that you're not seeing it, because I don't want to leave you with this idea that like, oh my god, what am I not seeing? It's not that. It's, this feels intentional. Like, this feels like you know it's there, you're just like not acknowledging it. And you're grounding in that. You're like, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to look at that. I don't want to know about that, because it could affect the family. It could like affect the stability, or whatever's going on, you know, within the family. And also this sort of, we've got the fish bones again, which to me, this is sort of like, this kind of represents like, lack, or um, uh, what's underneath Mary? Hold on one second. If this is Pisces again, I'm gonna go crazy. It is Pisces again. Sex side up. What is going on with these charms? It's funny to me, like with cards and charms, you guys, I say this all the time, but like we converge, different people converge in the room at the same time each night. And I swear to God, you guys' energies match, because it's like the same charms will come up, or the same sort of messages will come up. When we did cards last night, it was all about, I can't remember what was showing up. All the fours kept showing up of all the different suits and stuff. It's just interesting to me how much each room will match an energy, and you all will come with your issue, or your questions and your issues, and all of that, but sort of the same charms come out, or the same cards come out. It's weird. um so, and then I this Pisces charm with both of the, it's kind of like makes me think of, there we've got this dead fish here too, right? So it's like feast or famine is the words that I'm getting here. Like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So instead of it ever being bad, like we can't tell when it's feast or famine, so you're just gonna like not deal with any of it. And then you have the heart chakra, which is here turned over. You have this chakra, which says if you think you can turned over. And this is only you can give your special gift to the world turned over. So again, it's like, I want to say that you're, in some ways, maybe, oh wait, I told you what, I got told a while back by a classmate that I am hot. He's a Pisces? Maybe that's what that is. Hey Black Tree, how are you? Um, I feel like when I'm looking at this though, you're not acknowledging, maybe it's your own worth or your own, um, because these are all turned over and your own heart, like, and this makes me feel like you kind of gloss over things. Like I'm looking at this, oh, totally, like, no, everything's fine. It's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from this. And I don't think anything's like bad per se looking at these charms, but I just feel like there's a little bit of hiding is the best way to describe it. Are you working on yourself for now? Maybe that's what it is. And that's kind of why all of this stuff is sort of like turned over. Because the grounding charm says to me that you are grounding in whatever you're doing here, and there is this serious protection of the family going on. So, like, I don't know if you have kids or if there's that sort of a thing going on, but I feel like you are definitely protecting this. There is, like, this is the other thing that I always say about charmings. If the charms are on the board, that means the energy is present, right? So with the great wisdom in the center here, it says to me that there is an opportunity for huge growth and wisdom to come about. Like there's a big learning experience happening right now, and that might be the work that you're doing on yourself. And so that's why you're sort of grounding and presenting this sort of like, you know, everything's fine, everything's normal, don't worry. There's also this foundation of love that you're coming from, right? So if you're looking at like secret admirers or are interested in getting in a relationship, I feel like there's definitely the idea of having that balance and that security there. We also have the two on the black die, which could be a relationship in the future, right? That two, that partnership of the two. But right now, it feels to me like there's this sort of spot where you're getting, maybe it's you're getting to know yourself. You're figuring out that, you know, if you think you can, and only you can give your special gift to the world. You're figuring those things out. Like you need to understand those at a very deep level. That's why they're down here on the board. And so as you start to figure those out and really embrace those and own those, you're able to sort of reopen your heart chakra and have that, you know, knowledge and that wisdom of that for yourself. Yes, but I do get told I need to get out to love. Hold on one second, I gotta move this over so I can read everything. But we just got out of a relationship, but he's still involved. Yes, I have children, but they're grown except one. Okay. I mean, this just, I really think that this is about you sort of, I don't know. I mean, you said sort of general secret admirer, right? So, secret admirer is somebody else. What I'm looking at here is the idea of you, definitely in these charms. The focus is not on somebody else, the focus is on you. The focus is on the fact that maybe you might, like you said, you're doing internal work or whatever, so maybe you're hiding a little bit while you're doing that work. But I kind of feel like with all of these charms down here and this heart charm flipped over, it's sort of like yet to be determined. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go out or do whatever you do. I think getting out is fine. And I think that that's great. Um, I just feel like there's something that you're kind of either not acknowledging or like I wonder, you know, you're asking about secret admirers and stuff, but like where my mind goes when I look at these charms is like, do you believe that you can have that love again? Hey Heather Squires, hi. What are you doing under there? Get out from under there. I don't like that you're clawing my chair. Hey, Ingemar. Tss. Ingemar. Don't be clawing underneath my chair. Sorry guys, the cats are clawing the chairs. Tss. Get out from under there. I don't want you clawing that chair. You brat. Get out from under there. You could be protecting your heart. I mean, I definitely think, and there's, like I said, there's an opportunity here for big learning for you. But I think that this learning is about yourself, Kelly, like for sure. Yeah, I could see that you would love deep. But don't let that stop you, right? Like you can if you think you can, and you can only give your special gift to the world. These are things that you need to sort of realize and own, and this heart chakra flips over, right? This wisdom flips over. Mary flips over. She owns her power, right? Hey Lena, how are you? And it's funny because the body of this owl is a heart too. I just noticed that as I'm looking at the computer screen. So there's a heart in that owl, there's a heart in that wisdom, there's a heart in that learning. From different places. Black Tree over on YouTube asked, how did I collect all my charms? I got them from different places. The majority of them came from Mexico, but other things like these chakra stones I ordered off of Amazon. The dice I bought in like a dollar store. The Scrabble tiles I ordered off of Amazon and just added them in there. Some of the charms I've had for a really long time, like these porno theater coins. They were coins that I used to find in San Francisco on the street. This little rubber cobra, like I've had in a box for a really long time. I didn't even know it was there. This I bought in New York. It's Krishna. Oh, thanks. Welcome from India. Right, they're coins I never used. Exactly, Angel. Because you weren't worth them. I thought about throwing them at your head, but I couldn't get them past the glass window. I will check my PayPal right now. I do have Joan Grand. So does that make sense, Kelly? After Joan, I'm going to call it a night, you guys. Because we're getting ready to be at the 2-hour mark. I never was a good shot. Thanks, Angel. That's why you're not a mommy. Because I'm not a good shot. Gross! Ew! Gross! Alright, Angel, you always make me get so gross. It's all your fault. Do you want to take a screenshot of this, Kelly? And then I'm going to do Jones. Joan, are you here, dear? Okay, awesome. Safety goggles, not glasses, Angel. Just so we're all clear, Angel is not an angel, okay? Let's just say that. Hi, Joan. Sorry, how are you? I got your payment. Thank you for buying a charming. What did you want me to charm on? Just giving me a one-word subject, please. These faces, Ange. Love. All right. What does Pisces keep coming up? Pisces just keeps coming up. You have a P, an A, an I, a T, and a Y. We almost had party, but not quite. Let me see here. So this is supposed to be a love reading. What's going on here? So we have the astrological dice with the sign for Pisces up. This is kind of a little bit sparse. Let me see here. All right, so Joan, what I'm going to say this. Pay it? What do you want her to go to a hooker, Angel? Like, pay it. There you go. That's true. Pay it. Yeah. All right, so thank you guys for helping me to spell. It's a good thing I'm pretty, right? Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, so, Joan, I'm going to say this. Like, you have the owl and you have the mood ring, and they're right next to one another, and I feel like they're fighting. I feel like it's a battle between your emotions and your mind a lot of times when it comes to love. Okay? I do feel like you might go back and forth between like sort of how it feels and how you think it should feel. And I think sometimes you don't trust your own logic because you might be sort of maybe a little bit emotional or back and forth between emotion, logic, emotion, logic, emotion, logic. You do have this butterfly, which is always a symbol of transformation, and this is kind of to me the pretty butterfly that's in the box. So I feel like maybe in the past, because this is sort of signifies the past, there was like an hopefully like a period where you felt like you transformed or you learned something, you had a greater appreciation of yourself, that sort of a thing. And then I feel like this big empty space here was sort of like the most recent past, and it was kind of like maybe a dry spell, or like people weren't really acknowledging this transformation or this sort of appreciation that you maybe had for yourself. And I don't mean that in a bad way, not like you were bragging or anything like that, but this to me feels like there was like a level of sort of appreciation or maybe acceptance that you had acquired for yourself or something that like made you feel better about yourself. And maybe people didn't necessarily see it. That's kind of also why this butterfly is upside down. Maybe they didn't acknowledge it or validate it. And I think that's maybe why we have this fighting between the emotions and the mind happening here now. The interesting thing is do I think that there's a suitor or like a guy? And I think that there might be with this catcher's charm here. I feel like there is the possibility of somebody to play the game, so to speak, like the baseball player, right? He's in there to play the game, to catch, sort of, not catch, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this represents like a male that could be on the field ready to play. Um, and Spirit, he's right next to the dragonfly, which says to me, like, Spirit has brought him to you. But I sort of feel like you're not trusting it with this fight back and forth amongst your emotions and your mind. Does that make sense to you, Joan? Are you still with me? Just give me a yes or no. And if I'm totally off base, you can say no. Just let me know. It does? Okay. Well, I just want to make sure. So, we have the symbol of Pisces down here, which I'm not sure. To me, I feel like you could be very emotional. This could be just signifying that you're very emotional at a deep level. You could be very like emotional in love and that sort of thing. That's why we have this mood ring and the owl kind of duking it out. It's like you try and temper your emotions with your logic. But down here we have that. And then we have the Egyptian button, which to me is about like sort of ancient knowledge, the like sometimes represent communication, but it's flipped over. And you also have the crown, which we saw in another reading, which to me is about honoring oneself, acknowledging our own beauty and our power. And all of these to me are in the future, right? So we have this opportunity to use our wisdom and use our logic and the awareness of what we know, right? This is like deep knowing. And this is like about deep sort of acceptance and appreciation of oneself. And this is the elephant, which to me, the elephant is like this majestic creature that's super grounded, that's connected to family, that has, there's that phrase, the elephant never forgets, right? Hold on. I'm going to try and put this back in focus. There we go. The elephant never forgets, that sort of thing. But they're also these sort of gentle giants. And I like that he's sitting there too. To me, it feels like what's going on in love is that there might be somebody that's being brought to you if they're not here already by spirit. Okay? That's what this is saying to me. Like, I almost feel like this dragonfly is flying this ball player in for you to, like, kind of flirt with and play with, and he's willing to sort of play the game. But I want to say that you need to be ready to sort of play. And I think that's what this argument or this fight might be happening between you, like inside of you, is so that it will trigger off these awarenesses that you can sort of change, right? Where you can flip these charms going into the future and start to access this sort of the deeper knowledge that's in this button, the sort of the beauty that's in this crown, the honor, hold on, my current lover has described me as a butterfly that just blossomed. There we go. My mind versus logic is something I always struggle with. That's okay. And I think that you're figuring this out. That's why I see these charms as like sort of in the future. These two here, to me, these feel like gathering that knowledge and that awareness of self at a very deep level, and also honoring that at a very deep level, and acknowledging that, and giving it sort of the authenticity or the credit that it deserves, right? And then with this elephant, like, I feel like, to me, it feels like a steadiness, right? A gentleness, a lovingness that like kind of comes in, a groundedness, like elephants, like to me, they're kind of wonderfully magical creatures in the sense that like they stay in packs of families their entire lives until they die, barring that, nothing major happens to them out in the wild. They'll stay sort of familyed up. And I think that that's a really beautiful, noble thing. They're very noble creatures, I think. And very intelligent and gentle, even though they're like strong and giant and all of that. So I feel like there's this wisdom that also comes with the elephant, and this steadiness and this sort of, so I feel like this that's happening here will trigger off you acknowledging these two charms and hopefully working with them to understand them. And when you start to understand these two charms and really appreciate them and own them, that's when this elephant charm comes in, where this steadiness comes in, where you're able to sort of be in this relationship and be present and be grounded and be happy and at peace and move sort of like, you know how an elephant sort of moves slowly and kind of has its own kind of grace to it? Even though it's this big creature, right? And you would think that it would, like not be graceful. It actually is very graceful. And they're very gentle. And there's a sweetness to them, even though they can protect themselves and they can. And I also feel like this Pisces charm is telling me that there's a sweetness to you too, like a very emotional side to you that is very gentle, right? Or not, well, I wouldn't call Pisces gentle per se. We can be really sappy, but to me, it just mimics that a little bit. So if we take this like sort of emotionality, our wisdom, and then our capability and beauty, and we honor all three of those, right, together, I feel like we get the nobility of this elephant, right? The grace of this elephant, the groundedness of this elephant, the centeredness of this elephant, right? And that's what we take into the future with us. And so I think that is what you're working on in the love department. Hey, Mary, you better make that money, girl. I'd say, Mary, instead of calling it escape money, I would call it adventure money. Sounds more fun. It's a better vibration. It'll come easier to you. It'll come faster. The dragonfly represents spirit. So that spirit is flying in as somebody that's willing to play the game. And he's receptive. Like, that's why he's the catcher. He's receptive to playing the game, right? He's receptive to all of it. I love that he's like one of the only, like, he's golden up there, like glowing to me. Oh, all right. So Tracy Swinson just sent me money. All right, Tracy's the cutoff. Nobody else sent me any money. Oh my god, you guys. So is pay it kind of like play it? LOL. It could be. I think you should have fun. I was actually thinking this. This is what I was thinking. Is that it's actually like party, but they got, instead of getting the R, I got an I by accident. That's why I had laid it out that way, because I was thinking of party. Like, have fun, enjoy yourself. That's what I was thinking, because I think sometimes spirit can't always spell so great, or maybe I grabbed the wrong letters, who knows. But that's how I was seeing it. It was like party, and they were just off by a letter. So, but it could be a like play it if that's what you want. And that could be the baseball player, right? Like playing the game, enjoying yourself, not getting too caught up between the emotions and your logical brain, finding that fair middle ground and trusting yourself moving forward. But party to me is like have fun, enjoy yourself. Remember, it's all just like, even back here, it feels like there was this period where you were really enjoying yourself. Like you blossomed like a butterfly. And I love that your current partner calls you a butterfly, like, or says that you've blossomed like a butterfly. I think that's beautiful. So he's acknowledging it. So now it's time for you to acknowledge it too. That's this crown and all this stuff down here. Thank you, Joanne. Please like the business page and subscribe at my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get subscriptions over there. Thank you very much. If you want to take a screenshot of this, please feel free to do so. Boom! She says, boom, bitch. That's what Joanne says. Joanne said, boom. She dropped the mic. There you go. Came into your work on your day off making adventure cash. Exactly, Stony. Stony Lyman. All right, will you tell me when you've got your picture so I can clear the board, Joan? And then Tracy, you're up next. All right, thank you. So Tracy, are you here? Don't laugh, the name fits. No, I know. Hey Kayla, we're actually going to close up shop. I'm sorry. I'm doing one last reading for a Tracy, and then I need to. I've been on for too long. Like, not too long, but it's just getting to the 2 hour mark, and I don't like to read much past that. I start to get tired. But if you like the business page, Kayla, um, uh, you'll be notified the next time I'm on if you hit the notifications bell. I I don't necessarily. Hey Tracy, I see you there. This sounds weird, but messages. You mean like? All right, let me just see. Hold on one second, Kayla. I'm not doing mediumship work. I'm doing charmings right now, so I can't. I can't do that right now. I'm sorry, dear. But if you, like I said, if you like the page, you can be notified when I'm back live again. All of the full you mean the, what are you asking, Mary? The full tarot? Are you talking about the forecast? The forecasts are already pre-taped, so they will happen every morning while I'm gone. I'll be releasing them every morning from Florida. You're welcome, Kayla. I'm sorry. It's just I've been on for a long time now, and I've done a few readings, and so it's not in my best interest or yours for me to be trying. And I'm not necessarily, I don't feel fully comfortable like with mediumship yet to be contacting past loved ones. I do it as a practice, but I don't do it here with charms kind of thing. So Tracy, what do you mean by messages, if you don't mind? Yeah, full rating is $50. Mary. But that's a card reading, not a mediumship reading. I don't charge for mediumship because I'm still learning how to do it. Please drop in Monday. You mean Tuesday, Ducky? Monday is not the night that we do Triple H. It's Tuesday. So Tracy, are you here, dear? Do a reading while I'm gone? On life, Tracy? I mean, you just want a general reading? Is that what you're saying? I want to make sure that I give you what you want. Possibly. It all depends on how busy class is, Mary. I might take my deck with me. Okay, so just a general reading, Tracy. We're correct on that? Before I get started, I just want to make sure one last time. Okay. All right. All right, so data error retry. That's not a good sign. All right, I'm going to move that out of the way. Let's see what we've got going on here. So general, just is kind of cray-cray. So are you a nurse, girl? RN? All right, let's see. So Tracy, I'm gonna say this. Like, it just feels like sort of things are a little bit jumbled up right now in your life. Like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on for you, but let me just look at this for a moment. I almost feel like these charms are like exploding, like it just blew up. So you have this one charm that says protected. Believe is flipped over. Underneath the broken heart is namaste. The cat is in the center, right? And the cat usually, because it's a domestic animal, it makes me think of home. It makes me think of sort of love at times too. You know, like that sort of like love of a pet, but that like sort of home domestication, sort of like love that we're comfortable with. And to me, it feels like this is sort of the center. Like maybe, I don't know if like your home world is rocked right now, but it feels like all of these charms are blowing up and exploding out from this center. And so, um, you have the third eye chakra here that's turned over, and like your intuition, like I feel like you're maybe denying your intuition, kind of like what you know to be true you're not necessarily seeing. You might be choosing that though. I also feel like you have the giant butterfly here, which is the big transformation, and you're not necessarily uh, transforming. I almost get a feeling like again we have the ball player again, and I wonder if there's a man in this situation or a husband, a boyfriend, that sort of thing that's also in the mix here that kind of makes for like a little bit of this fear of transforming or changing because it might affect your home life if you had to like move on and get your peace. If you believe that you could actually move on and get your peace. I think that you're protected in this situation, but it might actually be hurting you or your heart's being broken even maybe repeatedly. We have the sun back here, which to me feels like there was a period in the time where you used to maybe shine brighter. This used to be my symbol for Aquarius. I don't know if there's a significant Aquarius in your life, but to me it's sitting over the brightness of the shine. Like I almost want to say like, is this dude an Aquarius? Because like it feels like somewhere in the past he started to maybe dim your light. And your light has been dimmed so much so that to me it feels like you're kind of confused and like everything feels like your home life might be not at risk, but like if you transform or you change too much or you believe in yourself too much, that kind of thing, or you seek your own peace, trust your intuition, that you might have to like risk your home life. But really what's happening is like your home life is sort of already not pleasant. It's not comfortable for you. Is any of this making sense, Tracy, or am I just totally off base? Hey, V Love, how are you? This also, you have the lovers up here too, which also speaks to this idea of this relationship with this gentleman down here. And then you have the symbol for Scorpio up here at the high end, and it says passionate. So I feel like this means like there's a lot of like high energy in this relationship. Like there's an intensity that comes with the like the sign of Scorpio. I don't necessarily know if you guys are, if there either of you are a Scorpio, but there is an intensity that comes with the sign of Scorpio. It's a water sign. It's very sexually intense. It can be, and also we have the like the coital lovers in this ring up here. So to me, this feels like there might be an intensity like we fight intense, but we also make up intense, and it's like feels like this sort of it kind of keeps you off guard. Like it keeps all of this stuff swirling in the middle. And then we have the boxing glove, which says to me that there is some fighting going on. Again, you have Scorpio here, a second Scorpio. Let me see here. So, where do I want to go for this? We've got good for one hug. We've got the hug charm down here. It's like I feel like you need a hug in a way, like she needs a hug. Um, okay, so let's look to the future. What's going on in the future? So we have the carnelian stone. We have the archangel Raphael here. He's face down, which means we need to let him in. We need to like open the door and let him in. I think he wants to come in and help. The sooner you can call him in, the better. He's going to help to heal. He's the archangel of healing. His color is dark green. Associate like that color with him. Wear that color a lot. Ask him to come in and help you to heal. I don't feel like you're in a bad way. I just feel like you're kind of confused and you're not trusting yourself. You're not like really allowed to trust yourself, right? And then here in the future it says, with the attitude of gratitude, only your good can only increase. Again, we also have the sunflower here, which also is representational of the sun, which means to me you're going to get your spark back. You're going to get your glow back. You're going to get your light back, your growth back, right? This sunflower was representational of the sun before I moved back to the States, and I found this in a box of my stuff and added this charm in here. This charm also has the Eye of Horus on the other side of it, but this is the representing as the sun. And so I feel like, with the Aquarius charm, which is the water bearer, it's like the sun and the water kind of in direct, I don't know if it's conflict, but I just feel like this was you shining your light in the past and then maybe stopping you a little bit. And now here it says to me, like in the future, it will come back to you. You have to believe that and allow that. And this says here, a wonderful journey is ahead. And it's, on a clear stone, which says to me, there's clarity coming in this wonderful journey, but it's not here yet. That's why it's turned over. But this attitude of gratitude is upright, and it's saying that if you believe in yourself and you sort of like allow yourself to sort of break free of these situations, you can start to transform your space. You can ground in that and you can begin to shine again. You need to trust your sixth chakra, your intuition, not let him break your heart anymore. There's also the woman's head up here. She's sort of flipped upside down, and the Scorpio sitting on. Who's the Scorpio? Is somebody, one of you, a Scorpio? Let me just ask, because there's a lot of, you have the Scorpio charm and the Scorpion. So like, it just feels like there's a lot of Scorpio energy. We also have this water and sun sort of confliction here. Is somebody a Scorpio? Like I almost feel like your adult son is a Scorpio. Huge issues for years. Interesting. Because it's the mother. I feel like, okay. I feel like the issues aren't going to stop in the future. And I don't mean to say that to like beleaguer you or make you sad. I do feel like there's a lot of positive things happening in the future all the way down this line. We have the Archangel Raphael. We have this idea of this attitude of gratitude. Only your good can only increase. It feels like this might be your son still giving you trouble, but he's your son. You're never going to sort of give up on him or whatever. So, but I feel like he's not. I feel like there's really good things here, and I feel like there's this opportunity to sort of shine again, and this journey to sort of open up for you again, this idea of clarity at a sort of deeper level, but you need to access that and trust that. Right now, like some of the, like this piece, this namaste charm was upside down underneath your broken heart, meaning like you're not really feeling like you can access your peace because you're maybe hurting right now, and the idea of believing in yourself is hard right now. But I really believe that you can believe in yourself. Maybe this is like the hug charm, right? Like, let me give you a virtual hug from here and tell you that you've got this. You can do this. Um, I feel like you're strong. You've been strong in the past. And then this turtle fell here, right? And the turtle always represents Mother Earth. And to me, it fell on its back outside of the board. And it's sort of interesting to me because the turtle is kind of vulnerable out here. And I'm trying to figure out if this turtle fell here to represent like way further past, or is there like something that's calling my attention? Like, is the turtle trying to get my attention? And we had this data error retry, which says to me like all of this needs to be sort of reconfigured. The way that it's set up, it's not suiting you. It's not really working for you. So to me, it's sort of like we need to go through this transformation, not fear the domestic, like our home life getting rocked too much. We're holding on to something that's not working anyways, right? Like to me, that cat is already turned upside down, so it's not. Um, oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing your comments, Tracy. I was reading the charms. I was looking at the charms. What's going on with your comments? Because I see Ducky's. Oh, huge issues for years. I saw that. So to me, I feel like you can get this back on track, and you're probably very much headed in that direction, especially with this charm being face up. It's like it's really about your attitude and understanding that you are protected, that you can believe in yourself, that you do deserve peace, that you can give yourself that peace. You can trust your intuition. I kind of feel like I want to say, as I'm looking at this boxing glove, that you don't have to fight for everything that you get in life. And I think that you know this on some level. But it's like you need to be reminded. I think that there's big opportunities here for change, but it's like you need to step forward and like grab them. And I feel like you might be fearful that might place you in a place of being alone when doing that. And it might, sort of, to a degree, but you're not really alone. And I know that sounds crazy but this angel charm says to me that like this is the Archangel Raphael. Like he's waiting here for you, like to help you, right? But you have to believe. But again, it's this attitude, this charm that says an attitude of gratitude, your good can only increase. If you believe that and you start to move in that way, it's going to create this shine again that sort of people around you maybe have been intimidated by or don't want you to have. Does that make sense, Tracy? You're not stuck, honey. Like, I want you to know that. You're not stuck at all. This transformation butterfly says to me also, you're not stuck. There's a big opportunity here for you. It's just when you're ready to take it, you will. And you will take it. That's the thing. The sunflower, this idea here, the grounding stone, all of this stuff says you will take it. It's just a matter of when, and you might need to know when that right moment is for you. But see, this charm here to me says that you have the intuition, and it's like you're not it's not that you can't access it, you're maybe not allowed to, like, or people make you second guess it, but your intuition is actually really strong. This is the sixth chakra, this is your third eye. You need to trust sort of what you're intuitively feeling about people. I think maybe there's been times where you've denied that or not acknowledged it, because you don't really maybe want to know the truth, or you don't want to, like, create problems for other people or rock the boat or whatever. But I think that you're going to have to rock the boat. to get unstuck, right? So, and you will get unstuck. You will. You've just got to decide when and where and how you want to get unstuck. It's funny too, now that you're saying you're stuck in a situation, you know, turtles, when you flip them on their back, they're stuck. They can't, you know, get flipped back over. So what I'm going to do with this turtle is I'm going to flip it over. Just do like, that's sort of a little magic charm spell. So we're going to set this turtle back on its belly so that you can get yourself unstuck when you're ready. Okay? You're not stuck. I don't want you to think that. Nobody's stuck anywhere. I need to follow my own advice. I'm not stuck here either. Do you need to take a picture of this, my dear? If you want to take a picture, you can take a screenshot if you'd like. Just let me know if you have so I can clear the board. You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for buying Up Charming. I really appreciate it. Please like the business page. You can join the group if you'd like. There's a good group of people there that hang out and chit chat every day. I have my daily forecast that you can watch on YouTube. And then I do different like pick a cards and tarot scopes and things like that. So if you guys go check out my YouTube channel, you can see all the different material that's there. It's also located on the business page, but you have to kind of scroll through it all. So it's a little bit more organized over at YouTube. If you do go over to YouTube, please subscribe to the channel so that you're notified when I go live. And I'm trying to build up subscriptions over there. Other ways you can support the channel, just like, comment, share the videos out. You can follow me at Instagram, Engelgeist333. I don't post a lot over on Instagram, but I should. It's a weird new world for me. Social media is so strange. So I just don't get it. Thank you, Marge, for the hearts and flowers. I love hearts and flowers. Yeah, so you guys, that's where I'm findable. You can always use my links. If you need to message me directly for a personal reading, I am available to do those. They are $50 an hour, and they're done over the phone with cards. I either do them, I can call you directly, or we can do it over Facebook. You know how Facebook allows you to call through Messenger. So that's available to you too. If you have any questions about that, you can message me at the business page, or you can direct message me via Instagram if you're an Instagrammer. Beyond that, that's it. I'm not doing a charming this Friday because I will be traveling to Florida. So I will be back live next Wednesday, next Tuesday for the How I Can Help You Hour, and then Wednesday will be the next charm night. So that's when you'll see me again for that. The morning forecast will go on without halting while I'm traveling. I've pre-taped the forecast, so I'll be releasing them from my computer every morning. If you want to see the forecasts early and you want to support the channel financially without having to buy a reading or whatever, you can go to Patreon and look up Engelgeist over at Patreon. There's different levels of support there, like at $3.33 a month, you can support the forecast and see it a day earlier than when it actually gets released. So right now, tomorrow's forecast is already up over there at Patreon. And that, when you equate it out to 30 days, $3.33 a month is really only 11 cents a forecast. So I think it's pretty affordable. It also helps me to keep things free. So that's available to you. And there's different levels over there, and there's different sort of goodies that come with each level. But Patreon's very new, and it's not required, but it's a great way to show support and that you appreciate my work if you feel so inclined. So that's another way. And then just tuning in and watching, hitting the thumbs up button is huge help for all of us that do this work. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Lisa. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys had a great night. Thank you, everybody that bought a charming. I really appreciate all of that you know keeps me home doing this for work versus working somewhere where I don't want to be. And I will see you all soon. All right, thank you so much. Have a great night. Bye.